Greetings from the Arcturians. Now, there's been something on my mind, and I'm just gonna try and address it here. Hopefully, um, this won't be a long video, but I don't know. I'm just gonna start and see where it takes me. But also, let's hope that one of the world's leaders, politicians watching me, like the Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia, Muhammed bin Salman, or MBS, maybe you could share this video. Maybe you could forward this video to Iran or someone in Iran, or that, who is that military person from the, is it IRGC, who is the spokesperson right now, who's on the news all the time, who's the spokesperson for the IRGC, for the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. Him. Maybe somebody, maybe MBS could forward this video of mine somehow, some way. I don't know how you're gonna manage that, but you are the Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia, so I'm sure you should be able to manage that. Forward this video and forward this message from me and also from the spirit of Prophet Muhammad, who is with me, to this spokesperson, to this IRGC spokesperson. I don't know his name right now, but that just tells me that I need to pay more attention next time I see, any sort of communication from him regarding the Iran-US-Israel war from now on. But please share this video message. Forward this video message and share this video message with that IRGC spokesperson. Just, I don't know, manage it somehow, please. Manage to forward this video and forward this message to him from me and from Prophet Muhammad, the spirit of Prophet Muhammad who's with me. Because that's the only thing that will work. Because I'm noticing that religion is being brought up, obviously, but also Allah, meaning God, is being brought up. Quran, the Muslim holy book, a verse of the Quran was brought up recently because I just saw it on the news. I was actually watching Midas Touch Network on YouTube, one of his videos, as usual. I mean, I watch Al Jazeera English and BBC News. I watch, a few others as well if they pop up on my YouTube feed. But obviously, there's Midas Touch Network. Midas Touch Network is one of them. Ben is one of them from Midas Touch Network. So I saw this Quranic verse, this verse from the Quran being mentioned from IRGC spokesperson. I'm just going to call him, IRGC spokesperson right now because I don't know his name and I don't know his rank at this point. So I'm going to have to see what his name is. Or can I look it up right now? I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, maybe in the next video, if there's a next video from me on that, and who knows, and maybe there might be another video from me on that, or trying to talk to him, trying to talk him down, trying to negotiate peace, and of course, trying to negotiate peace when it comes to the hostage situation with Strait of Hormuz right now, because that is a hostage situation as well, because Iran is holding the Strait of Hormuz hostage, as I've already said in my previous video. And this is not just about the US, this is not just about America anymore. The world is getting affected by it. And they know it, Iran knows it, that's why they're doing it. It's like That's why they're holding the Strait of Hormuz hostage. Um, anyway, uh, everybody knows that, I suppose. I'm just saying it. Um, but hey, somebody has to actually say it, or somebody actually has to come out and say the things that need to be said, because not everyone has the guts and the courage to say the things that need to be said. So I suppose I have to be that person. um, I have to have the guts and courage to say what needs to be said, and what needs to be heard as well. What needs to be said and what needs to be heard by people that need to hear it as well. So, that Quranic verse, I looked it up, and I think it's from Quran chapter 2, Surah Al-Baqarah. It's a verse from um, chapter 2 of the Quran called Surah Al-Baqarah, and the name of this chapter translates in English as the cow or the heifer. Uh, that's what Al-Baqarah means in English. And I'm just looking that Quran verse up here now on Google, and it's saying, hang on, let me see. Now, right now, I'm just doing a general search, so it's giving me more than one verse. Right, it's saying you are likely referring to Surah Al-Baqarah verse 194 or Surah Al-Baqarah verse 190 from the Quran, the Muslim holy book Quran, the Quran. Then it says these verses outline the Quranic principles of self-defense, retaliation, and proportionality. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 194, attack him as he attacked you. Or it was something like he was quoting something like, or whoever was quoting that verse, maybe it was him. Yeah, because I just saw it on the news, so I don't know who was quoting it from behind the scenes, but it's probably him. It's him. I'm getting it's him. So it was something. It started something like, it started with, in the name of Allah, attack them as they attack you. So I'm getting two verses here that are similar. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 194, says, attack him as he attacked you, or attack them as they attacked you. Now, this was directly mentions retaliating in the exact same measure if you are attacked. So if anyone commits aggression against you, attack him as he attacked you, or attack them as they attacked you. But be mindful of God, or Allah, and know that God is with those who are mindful of God, or who are mindful of Allah. Now, the other similar verse is chapter 2 or Surah Al-Baqarah 190. Fight those who fight you. This verse sets the foundational rule for warfare in Islam, emphasizing that Muslims should only fight back defensively and never initiate the conflict. Well, we know who initiated the conflict. It was not Iran. It was President Trump, the US. So, and of course, Prime Minister Netanyahu as well, and Israel. But I mean, let's just leave the countries out of it, because we know that it's the leaders of these countries. It's not the country per se. It's not the people of America and Israel, really. Not all of them anyway. not most of them anyway. It's these leaders of these countries. So let's just say President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu initiated this war against Iran. Iran did not initiate this war, this conflict. So yeah, I mean, Iran is doing self-defense, right? That's Iran's position. So yes, so this other verse, Surah Al-Baqarah, which translates as, the cow or the heifer, the name of Quran chapter 2, that's what Surah Al-Baqarah means. Fight those who fight you. That's, verse 190. So fight in the cause of Allah only those who wage war against you, but do not exceed the limits. Allah does not like transgressors. Okay? So I think this is he quoted one of these verses from the Quran, that IRGC spokesperson. Is it IRGC stands for Iran or Iranian Revolutionary GC, God. What does C stand for? Okay, I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm forgetting. But yeah, it's Iranian Revolutionary Guard spokesperson. So the key thing here is that Iranian IRGC spokesperson is quoting the Muslim holy book Quran, a verse from the Muslim holy book Quran when it comes to this war, which tells you what? I mean, I want to say which tells you what of their psychology. And of course, if they end up watching this video as well, then greetings from Prophet Muhammad's wife Aisha, and from Prophet Muhammad himself, from the spirit of Prophet Muhammad. I channel Prophet Muhammad's spirit, as well as, others' spirits, but I channel Prophet Muhammad's spirit because Prophet Muhammad's spirit is with me now. So that's why I keep saying, you world leaders, and especially the Saudi Crown Prince and Prime Minister Mohammed bin Salman, or MBS, you need to bring me in, and you need to bring the spirit of Prophet Muhammad into this situation, because now I'm also remembering watching something. Actually, I was being nudged to watch some sort of a movie where I can't even remember the name of that movie, but I think it had Ben Affleck in it. It was going back into Iranian history and what happened back then with Iran. And of course, there was, American involvement. I don't remember the plot of that movie now. And I couldn't even really watch that movie. I think I hardly watched the first few minutes of the movie. But anyway, and then I also came across another short news video recently where they were also going into Iranian history. And they were like, what is President Trump doing? Like, knowing the history, or maybe he himself doesn't know the history. But obviously, people who are looking back now, because of this current Iran, US, Israel conflict and war, people who are looking back into history, they're giving warnings, they're giving serious warnings, because this conflict, this war could continue with no end in sight. Because I'm just remembering this little bit from the news video that I've watched recently. It's like that news anchor was, going back into Iranian history, and he was like, And of course, Ali Khamenei, who's just, well, been assassinated recently by President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu, but by President Trump mainly. And of course, US military, through US military. But anyway, US Air Force specifically. Anyway, and this news anchor was going back into Iranian history and into, Ali Khamenei, and how Ali Khamenei would not have a ceasefire even for like 8 or 10 years. And when he did have a ceasefire after, like 8 or 10 years, after that long, it was because he said that he will surrender to the will of Allah, not to America, not to Israel, not to, whoever else, but only to the will of Allah, meaning God. And even then, his words were something like that it's like drinking poison, but having a ceasefire, not that him surrendering to the will of Allah was like drinking poison for him. No, not that. But the fact that, that someone would even force or forces would even force him to surrender to another country or to another country's president or prime minister, that was like drinking poison. And that he would only surrender to the will of Allah and no one else and nothing else. And that's why I think he accepted the ceasefire going back into history after maybe 8 or 10 long years, only because he surrendered to the will of Allah and to no one else and to nothing else. And that was just him accepting a ceasefire, I think. Or I don't know the details, but I'm just making a point here because that's enough to make a point in terms of what we're dealing with here when it comes to Iran and, now the Iranian IRGC and also Ali Khamenei's son, who's replaced him now. What's his name? Mujtaba something? Or Mujtaba Khamenei something. I think that's his name. I'm forgetting the full name, but I think Mujtaba Khamenei. So you have to bring me in, and you have to bring Prophet Muhammad in, and you have to bring Allah in, and you have to bring the Quran in to negotiate peace with Iran. So think about it. I think it's enough for this message. So I'm going to leave this message here. If I have more to say, or, if the Arcturians or the spirit of Prophet Muhammad or Allah, the God energy, Allah's energy, have something more to say through me, so then I can, I'll channel their message through. But for now, this is enough, as a basic message. So I'm going to leave this one here. Take care, stay safe, over and out.